Okay, let's continue. See, we know there's a midget submarine out there. Maybe they'll start using their anti-submarine operations to sink them. At least one of the midget submarines. There was a total of 5 that were launched. I think they're 2-man, I believe, submarines. Total of 5 launched against Pearl Harbor at this time. I think only one of them gets into Pearl Harbor, maybe 2. One is engaged, is actually the first engagement well before the attack starts out here when it was trying to slip in to Pearl Harbor. Okay. And I think we may get to try to play it from the Japanese side here. I have not done that before, but it is part of it. Oh, I know. I'm not saying you were. I'm just going. It's just not. It's not an equivalency thing that I'm willing to do. Okay. Yep. Coming in. Maybe there'll be something somewhere. There were coastal defense batteries on Hawaii. I'm not sure exactly where they were, whether they were out like there or whatnot. But, well, I'll try to move these guys up and shoot one of them down. Okay, well, we shot down 3 of 5 requested anti-air operations. Okay, well, since it seems to be a lot of air traffic up here, we're going to move this guy north to here. We're going to move up to here, I think. Now, we have one mildly decent shaped, ring-shaped battleship. Okay. Maybe I should have shot him down instead of attacked, but you're going to come into Hickam and land. We're going to use you to see if anything we have some of this great area that we know there's nothing in. Let's move you to here, see if there's anything out here. You're going to come over here. Oh, damn, there's this guy right here. Forgot all about him. Damn. Well, you're still okay there because you're covering the battleship. It's not a bad move. Now, as several of people have mentioned, and it is very true, the third wave that was proposed by some of the junior naval air officers was an attack upon the oil facilities and the dockyard facilities, particularly at the Pearl Harbor Naval Base. And why didn't it happen? Okay, cancel. Did this guy move? Just want to make sure. Yes. Several reasons, I would say. One is, yeah, I thought that might happen, but I hoped it wouldn't. Hope isn't a good battle plan. One is that Admiral Yamamoto had gone to school and traveled all over the United States as a young man. I don't know his level of English. I hear he was a rather good poker player. And I don't want to describe it as like hitchhiking around America, but it was, you know, riding trains, getting rides from, you know, acquaintances and friends and whatnot. So it was, you know, things like that, or how you know, he was moving around America, and he had visited some of the American industrial cities like Detroit, I believe, and down in like the Texas oil fields. So he perceives, and he understands a lot about America. I mean, I don't want to place him as some sort of, just save whatever points we may have here. Okay, as some sort of great scholar or whatever on America, but he gets a lot of it, I would say. That's how I would categorize things with Yamamoto. We will use you to hopefully go. Yeah, I think we will be bold. See if we can actually down this guy. Despite surprise attack and ensuing chaos, our pilots and ground crews have managed to shoot down a significant number of enemy aircraft. The loss experienced pilots may hurt Japanese efficiencies. Okay, so he perceives that America's problem is not oil. I think that is one of the elements that dissuades them from attacking the oil. They're also thinking of a 6-month war, that they defeat us, we then go into a stage of negotiations, and then which, you know, may mean that they withdraw from, say, Singapore, say the Philippines, places like that, but, you know, hold on to, because it's for what they're starting the war for supposedly is, you know, taking the Dutch oil. They're not going to withdraw from that, but, you know, maybe withdraw from some of their gains, maybe, you know, leave Hong Kong or whatever, and sign a peace negotiations after a 6-month war. So they see it as a short term, that if the, you know, the main striking element of the fleet is on the bottom of the ocean, though we'll get maybe into that in a moment. This is a shallow harbor situation here, because I think it's all but 2 of the 8 battleships. They get back into action eventually. 3 of the battleships have only light damage. 1 is probably, I would say, considering immediately operational. The other 2 are operational by, you know, from December, operational in February of the next year, so just a few months later. So they got 3 battleships operational by February out of the 8 that were in Pearl Harbor on the day. 2 are, you know, one of the Arizona is still there and still listed as an official Navy ship. Another one was a complete write-off. The others were eventually put back into service, though a lot of those weren't until 1944 put into service then. Okay, you moved. I got to keep checking that. Pearl Harbor showed the world the age of the battleship. Or Taranto did. We'll get to that in a moment. Get to Taranto. So they see it as a short war, so they see the logistical elements to not being so necessary if you're taking out the main fleet elements of it. That's part of the reason. The third part of the reason is, as I said before, is the lack of the 2 carriers that were supposed to be here. That had they been sunk, or I think that there's a likelihood of a third wave of attacks, but they were worried that those carriers may launch attacks against the 6 Japanese carriers, basically all of their like fleet carriers they have. They had some other sort of auxiliary carriers operating in other places, I believe, but all of their main fleet carriers were here. Pearl Harbor, thanks for following. We do appreciate that. And so it was something of a defensive measure, you know, not wanting to, like, we're coming up here and risking moving our aircraft away from protecting our primary vital interest of the destroyers just to make some kills, which of course may not be the best. Okay, it'll be next turn. We'll get to launch you. The best option here. It looks like they're moving off the board. They've gotten underway. But as I talked before, Yamamoto is not thinking in terms, thinking in terms that America doesn't need to worry about oil. Well, there is no other oil in the region for them. So had they, yeah, we won't be able to get over to these other bases in enough time. There were just no other oil around for them to decide, or if they wanted to go after them. Okay, I'm going to return you back to the airbase for refueling. So let's get you, launch you up over there. I guess you're running low on fuel. You can get down to at least here. Enough time to land next turn. And how are you doing? You're doing good on fuel. Okay. Okay, well, you can come up to here. Classically, that was maybe not the best move. We'll bring you in as sort of flying target top cover. Where's Mother Egg in here? Guess we'll move it up here. Not sure if that's at all useful at this point, but yes, we'll do it. And so, had they taken that out, there's just no functional way for the U.S. to be able to supply oil operations for probably about the next 6+ months. And that would have been very bad for the U.S. fleet. And we wouldn't be going, oh, well, they should have taken out the oils in the dockyards. It would have stopped the fleet for 6 months. Well, if the carriers were sitting on the ground at the same time, as they're spending the 6 months or a couple months for a couple of the ships, but longer for the other ships, getting them back into service, it wouldn't have mattered that much because the fleet wouldn't have been all that active. Sure, you would have had destroyers running around doing, convoy escorts and that kind of thing, but it wouldn't have been much. So it's only because of the lack of carriers there that we see the importance of oil. San Francisco possibly, or San Diego had been the major naval base for the U.S. Prior to its being moved to Pearl Harbor. So either San Francisco or San Diego. I think San Diego is better equipped for long-term supply and operations for the Navy. I do know the sailors liked a Liberty port as San Francisco over San Diego. But you should be more in the Pacific. Well, I've not played that game, Gilmer. And I wanted to focus on the battle here today and not a longer campaign. Wanted to get it done in time, and we're gonna have time. I'll say I've not played the Japanese perspective, but we'll be doing that next year, and after this next turn here, and see how we could do it from that side. I just want to. Did we move? I think I did, but just keep checking. Yeah, the Jeep. This shows you even naval guns need anti-aircraft protection of some sort in an aircraft age. Wow, we got another air group down. Let's move you up to here. Not that I'm actually going to think I'm going to bring it down, but our best chance for that was there. Okay, you need to land so you don't crash for lack of fuel. Where are fighters up here? You are in really bad shape, so you're going to head back. And complexity overrides playability for me. I've played War in the East a fair amount, not the whole grand campaign or anything like that, but I played a bunch of scenarios, and I find it quite enjoyable, but I don't know how good it, and I know that some people will watch it on stream, but it's a rather slow playing game that I like that type of stuff, but I'm a little reluctant upon how good of a game. Yeah, as you're saying, joking that it'd take about a year. Yeah, and so, you know, if you want to play that type of stuff, and again, I like playing that type of stuff, but I don't know how well it streams or, you know, makes YouTube videos for it, but, you know, it's a good game, and I know that. Okay, we're gonna move you over here. We're gonna park you right on top of the battleships to give them direct air cover. And everything as best we can for that. We're trying to keep that alive. You're coming down into there. Hello, Scooter. Well, we're going to have another battle coming up after this. And I totally get that some games, yeah, just get too complex for many people to be fun. I like basic games. I like complex games. And sometimes it just gets down to the mood of what I'm into and want to play. Okay, after 2 hours of relentless aggression, the sky has finally cleared. It was actually, I think, about 90 minutes. But yeah, after 2 hours, it was clear. The attack on Pearl Harbor is over, but the war has only just begun. Okay, so we have endured 15 turns. We have shot down 5 aircraft and keep at least 1 battleship alive, which we've achieved. I don't think it is possible, unless there's something I'm missing in the game, to achieve either one of the other 2 objective things because of the way they're spread out. But maybe somebody's done a... Yeah. Well, good, you like it. I do too. Multiplayer might be a good way to do that. Okay, we're going to do this. You want to? No, we're not going to save the replay of this. Okay, well, you want to? No. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to